In previous part, two methods of asexual reproduction we explained, that is binary fission and multiple fission. We also discussed difference between binary fission and multiple fission. At the same time, one of the specialized reproduction we seen in case of a freshwater sponges under unfavorable condition, that is gemule formation or gimule formation also we explain. Then in this part we have to discuss once again the different modes of a asexual reproduction. In that first one, the zoospores and conidiospores formation. The spores may form both sexual as well as asexual methods. Then these are the two kinds of spores. One we call zoospores, another conidiospores. They shows they are the asexual reproductive bodies. If you consider zoospores, they are motile in nature. That means they shows movement. Then conidiospores are immotile. Then the major reason for zoospores have motility because they having flagella. There are two flagella present in case of zoospores. Therefore, they can move from one place to another place by the flagellar movement. Whereas you take that is conidiospores, there is no flagella at all. Then the zoospores are produced inside. Therefore, they we call endogenous. That means they generated internally. Hence, we call endogenous. And conidiospores are exogenous, means they form externally. Then if you take zoospores, mainly found in case of algae, mainly chlamydomonas. Whereas conidiospores we seen in case of Penicillium notatum. You know it is a fungi. From that first time we analyzed a penicillin antibiotic used for the treatment of different types of bacterial diseases. It was first time analyzed by the great scientist Alexander Fleming. These are the two different types of asexual mode of reproduction we see in some lower organisms. Like that, one more kind of asexual reproduction is budding. That is simply formation of bud is called the budding we say. Formation of bud we called budding. You take in case of Hydra, generally to the parental body, small protrusion is develops, and later it looks like a what? The specially Hydra, and here it has loose link, and this specialized structure we call bud. Due to accidental disturbance or mechanical disturbance, this bud may detach from the parent and it become new individual. Same thing we seen in case of one of the specialized fungi we called the name yeast. Yeast we also called a sugar fungi, and scientific name is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. This fungi also reproduce by forming bud. See there, it's a parental cell, and side to the parental cell, small bud is formed, and this bud showing a loose attachment. Therefore, a simple mechanical disturbance leads to detachment of parental cell from this bud, and later this bud become into a new young one, and this process we call the name budding. Then another major type of reproduction is vegetative reproduction. As we know, the flower is a reproductive part of the plant body. As a result, flower and their product, like fruits, seeds, we may consider as a sexual reproductive part or a sexual reproducing bodies we called. Rest of all body part of the plant we called vegetative part or non-sexual part. For example, root, stem, branch, then buds, leaves. These are all we considered as the specially vegetative part. If the plants reproduce from vegetative part, that what we call the name the vegetative reproduction. It may be even artificial method as well as natural method. We know in the field of agriculture and a horticulture, today we using plenty of artificial method of what the specially vegetative propagation. For example, sugar cane we cultivating by taking the stem. Same by taking stem cutting we cultivating rose, jasmine, hibiscus. If you take turmeric and ginger, we generally cultivate by taking their rhizomes. Same with respect to the banana, we rhizomes or corms we take go for vegetative propagation. At the same time, even the certain the horticulture plants we going for grafting, that is also kind of what vegetative reproduction. But naturally also the plants showing a vegetative reproduction that includes one, stem tuber. It is an underground stem modification we seen in case of potato. Then rhizome we seen in case of ginger and turmeric. And bulb we seen in case of onion and garlic. These are the three important vegetative propagation mainly occurs by the modification of underground stem modification. There are some subaerial stem modification also meant for a specially vegetative reproduction. That most common one is runner we seen in case of a lawn grass. Then even oxalis. Then stolon in case of strawberry. And also in mint we have that kind of reproduction. Then sucker we seen in case of chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum andre ನಾವು ಸೇವಂತಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ chrysanthemum. Then upset we seen in case of eichhornia. Runner, stolen, sucker, upset. These are the four important type of subaerial stem modification. Once again helps for vegetative propagation. Then in addition to that, there are several other vegetative reproduction we seen, that is mainly the leaf buds we seen in case of bryophyllum. Then bulbils of agave and dyskoria. These are the different vegetative part of the plant body involved in the reproduction. But first three, that is stem tuber, rhizome and bulb, are underground stem modification. These are underground stem modifications. Then next four, that is runner, stolen, sucker, upset, subaerial stem modification. Subaerial modifications. Then if you take stem tuber, rhizome and bulb meant for perennation. To know the meaning of perennation, we should know the meaning of what do you mean by annual herbs, then biennial herbs and perennial herbs. Listen here. In plants, based on their height, we classified them into herbs, shrubs, trees. Generally, herbs having soft stem, unbranched stem, less than 5 feet height. Whereas shrubs having bunched stem, generally they are what? Unbranched, but height exceed above 5 feet. Trees, they having woody stem, lot of branching and debranching, height may exceed even above 10 feet. But if you consider lifespan, the shrubs, trees lives more than 1 year. But herbs can have a minimum 1 year lifespan. For example, annual herbs means they complete their life cycle within 1 year. Therefore, what word we use? Annual means year. Annual herbs. Biennial herbs complete their a life cycle 2 times in a year. Bi means 2. That means minimum they within 6 months they complete. Then perennial herbs are the only specialized herbs. They complete their life cycle less than 1 year but more than 6 months. That means they are intermediate between annual herbs and perennial herbs. Then these perennial herbs showing a specialized adaptation we called perennation. During perennation, what happens? Before summer they complete their life cycle. Before summer they complete their life cycle. But before onset of what? The summer, these specialized plants like potato, it produce stem tuber, ginger and turmeric produce rhizome, onion and garlic produce bulb. These plants stop their life cycle, but they show some underground stem modification where the huge amount of reserve food material with buds are stored, and throughout summer they remain underground. By the onset of monsoon month, these buds itself germinate to give young plantlet. That special process we call perennation. The perennial herbs persist for long period because of a phenomenon called perennation, and perennation is the one of the best method to escape adverse condition or adverse summer. Here the especially stem tuber represented by example potato. Generally before summer the taproot system grows horizontally in a ground, and later it's swollen irregularly and produce a specialized structure that itself what is called a stem tuber. See here, it is a taproot system, and these are the lateral roots, end of lateral roots showing irregular storage of food and form stem tuber. If you analyze keenly, the stem tuber showing small structure, and these popularly we called as a eyes, and these eyes having axillary buds. Axillary buds. If suppose these axillary buds, if sowed in soil, they give young plantlet. By this it indicates each eyes develops into new young plant in case of a potato, that is stem tuber. If you consider another vegetative propagal, rhizome, we seen in case of ginger and turmeric. In these plants, before onset of summer, a stem horizontally grows and it forms a special structure. Here shoot is there, and this stem modified and swollen and become little bit flat, and this specialized structure we call the name rhizome. If you consider rhizome, here we can able to differentiate node and internode. Although color of this structure, both ginger and turmeric, is root-like, because of underground stem modification, due to presence of node and internode, we can easily say that it's a stem modification. Then at the same time, just in nodal region of the rhizome, we have even scaly leaves also, with advantageous roots. You know, the roots developed other than a radical, we call advantageous roots. Generally these roots develops from the nodal region of the stem. At the same time, even in rhizome, we have some axillary buds also. Axillary buds. These buds itself may give rise to young plantlet. This is the specially a stem modification, rhizome, which also stores huge amount of stored food material and also helps for pollination purpose. One more most familiar example for us, it is bulb. This stem look like a bulb, therefore it is generally we call bulb, represented by a garlic. It shows compound bulb, whereas the simple bulb we seen in case of onion. If you consider onion, here there is a small, the terminal bud is there, then side two axillary buds are there, and these buds surrounded by fleshy scaly leaves. Therefore in onion, edible part means these scaly leaves arranged in concentric manner. Along with that, it is axillary bud. These are terminal buds. These are fleshy leaves. Then adventitious roots. See this diagram, it's an underground stem modification like a bulb, and central we have one terminal bud, two or more axillary buds are there, and they are protected by fleshy leaves with a basal adventitious roots. These axillary buds germinate to produce new young plantlet, hence bulb also play a very important role in vegetative propagation as well as pollination process. There are four important subaerial stem modification play a very important role in a vegetative propagation. In that, first one is runner. We see in case of a lawn grass as well as oxalis. Suppose you consider it as a parental plant, then from the just above the ground, some horizontal stem grow in all directions. Just I shown in one direction, but then after short distance, the nodal region gives young plantlet with adventitious root, and this specialized stem we call runner, and it is young plant, and this one is parental plant. Suppose the runner is damaged, that's middle part of stem, whatever present in between the parental plant and young plant, this specialized stem we called runner. If mechanically runner is damaged, at that time this young plantlet grow independently, and this may become as a parental plant. Once again it grow vegetatively. Then another most important type of especially this one vegetative propagation by subaerial stem modification is stolen. We seen in case of the mint. Mint means as well as mint andre pudina anta ಇದೆ. It is a parental plant where stem grow little bit above the ground and once again fixed by means of advantageous root with young plantlet. Here also principle is remain same. Only the area of stem whatever distributed in the ground is little bit different. Generally it is a parental plant. That parental plant first develops a special stem, we call the name stolon, and that stolon later gives young plantlet. Suppose stolon is damaged, once again this young plant develops as a new one. This is another mode of asexual reproduction. Then we see sucker in chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum andre seventy anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. In this case what happens, it is a parental plant, the partly within ground, it is a ground, within ground the stem originated and it comes above the ground and later gives the young plantlet, and this part what we call the name sucker. The last one most important, that is in our textbook it is given very detailed, that is upset. The example is icornia. ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತರ್ಗಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ನೀರೊಳಗೆ ಫ್ರೀ ಆಗಿ ತೇಲಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತರ್ಗಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. This is a aquatic free floating plant and generally having some a specialized character in bio. It gives horizontal thick stem that itself we call the name the upset, we say. This is what we call the name upset. It is young plant. Here also same principle. From the parental plant, young plant, this thick stem, specialized stem, what we call upset. If it damaged mechanically, that young plant grow independently. But with respect to the icornia, we have plenty of a new information. It's a aquatic plant, aquatic free floating plants, one thing, and it having parenchyma. We know in first year the air-filled parenchyma is called parenchyma. That parenchyma is present in case of icornia, and that parenchyma helps for buoyancy. First time in India it was introduced for its what to say, a beautiful colored flowers. But the negative point of this plant is it is a highly invasive aquatic weed it is. As we know, a most strongest weed in terrestrial ecosystem means that is the Parthenium. We call carrot grass, or Congress ka sante. Like that, in aquatic system, very strong weed means a invasive aquatic weed means the especially icornia. At the same time, it causes major water pollution that may lead into even death of fishes. Hence, its nickname is Terror of Bengal. Eichhornia we call Terror of Bengal. Therefore, with respect to the Eichhornia, we have lot of information in our both first and second year topic. It's an aquatic free-floating plant. It having specialized parenchyma called arenchyma that helps free-floating in water. And first time in India it was introduced for its a mallow violet color flower. But later the scientists know that it is a very strong weed. It damaged most of the aquatic plants as well as aquatic animals and causes major water pollution. Even massive death of fish is also takes place. Hence, its nickname is Terror of Bengal. Another mode of asexual reproduction is leaf buds. We seen in case of bryophyllum, where in bryophyllum the leaf margin, when you consider, it shows the leaf buds. They are loose linked with having a leafy shoot and advantageous roots. Hence, if any simple mechanical damage is take place, easily these leaf buds shed off and grown into new plant. Hence, the leaf buds play a very important role in the especially vegetative reproduction. And last one, most important, that is bulbil. Bulb we seen in onion garlic, bulbil we seen in agave, Naranjian heather, Discoria. Here, in a mother plant itself, the bulb-like structure with leafy vegetation is formed, and this we call bulbil. That bulbil detach from the parental plant and grow into new plant. This is another asexual mode of reproduction. Yes, I go through some slides here. Already I explained in detail. Budding is seen in case of a yeast, hydra, obelia, cycon, where parental body gives small projection that itself form bud. Bud is loosely linked that gives rise to a new plantlet or new young one we say. See this slide, it's not a actually budding phenomenon. It is a natural bud formed in case of most of the plants, and from that we can get a branches or shoot system completely. That may be branch, flower, inflorescence, all that one. But from that we may not get young plantlet, therefore it is not a budding phenomenon. Whereas this is the slide which shows us how in case of hydra bud is formed. It is a first main, what you say, the animal body, it we call parental body, which given a small bud, it is loosely linked. Any mechanical disturbances takes place, at that time it develops into new young one. Then this is a slide which is showing how a budding process play a very important role in a asexual reproduction. See here, it is a parental organism yeast which form a bud. A small notch is there and it is highly loosely linked. Simple mechanical disturbance leads to detachment of bud. That bud develops into a new young one. Same, it is also of yeast only. Then this is the slide showing 4 steps. In first step, small protrudable part is formed from the parental hydra, and later bud is formed in second stage. In third stage, due to mechanical disturbance, it is detached from parental body and finally it become new young one. It is in case of obelia how budding is take place. Then gemule formation already I explained in detail, and even spore formation also. These are the different types of spores we seen in case of the lower organisms, mainly fungi and algae members. Then during vegetative propagation, the one of the commonest type of vegetative propagation we see in case of rhizome and ginger. See this slide, it shows very easily. There is some notches are there. They what we call nodes and internodes, and side the axillary buds are there. And these axillary buds itself develops into the new plantlet. It is rhizome of ginger and turmeric. This is the slide which shows all mode of asexual reproduction. The first slide we seen in case of especially wild strawberry, and it is the specially showing runner, and second one the onion of bulb, third a stem tuber of potato, the next hydra showing budding process, whereas amoeba how develops into a two daughter cells from single parental cell, that itself what we call the name binary fission. Then if you take stem tuber, it is a potato, it is an underground stem modification where the food is stored irregularly according to space availability. At the same time, the potato having eyes, these eyes having a axillary buds, they may develop into the young plantlet. This is a very wonderful slide where from the eyes, meaning the young plantlets are started developing. That indicates the stem tuber play a very important role in vegetative reproduction. If you take onion, in case of onion, the bulb is a stem modification. We have central axillary bud, terminal bud with side plenty of axillary bud, and they are protected by a leaves, fleshy leaves, a concentric rings of leaves. They are also fleshy. Therefore, whatever the edible part of onion regularly we eating, they having terminal bud, axillary bud, fleshy leaves together. At the lower part we have fibrous roots also, because it is a monocotyledon member. The same side young bud is formed here. Then if you take in case of a oxalis, from parental plant to young plant, runner stem is there, and if it is mechanically damaged, at that time this young plant develops into new one. It's in case of strawberry, that is stolen we have, stolen, it's a stem modification. Then sucker we seen in case of chrysanthemum, and wonderful example that is Eichhornia. We call water hyacinth, its nickname is terror of Bengal. It's a free floating aquatic plant generally found in fresh water, mainly ponds, lakes, stream, even dams also. And it was first time introduced in India for its beautiful color flower, but later we know that it brings a lot of water pollution, and even invasive weed, it kills other aquatic plants also, and it consumes more oxygen and pollute the water. Even massive death of water, the fish is also takes place, and as well as aquatic plants. Hence, its nickname is terror of Bengal. Then another most important example we have to go, that is the specially leaf buds. It is a wonderful slide of bryophyllum where the margin of the leaves showing young leaf buds with leafy shoot and advantageous roots, and they are loose linked. These are almost all mature leaf buds, and in this side just new leaf buds are developing, and same different group of bryophyllum species showing wonderful type of leaf buds we say. See here we have a lot of leaf buds with a different designs. This small a spot-like structure itself leaf buds. Each leaf bud may develops into new plantlet. Then another one, bulbil. The name itself indicates their bulb-like structure, but we don't call it as a bulb, because bulb is an underground stem modification we seen in garlic and onion. These are the vegetative reproductive bodies. It's a slide of Ova bulbosa, which shows the bulbils each bulb will develop into young plant. It's a Discoria bulbils. A single bulbil of agave it is. Agave ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾರಂಜಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. See here, especially farmers planted this agave plant almost for the fencing purpose to avoid the invaders. At the same time, from its leaves we extracting fibers, and it is a shoot where plural bulbils are developed in terms of hundreds together. These structures are bulb-like. A single bulbil may disperse from the parental plant, develops into new young one. This is a special type of vegetative reproduction we seen in agave americana. ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾರಂಜಿ ಅಥವಾ ಪಡೆನಾರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ.